Howdy everyone, Poacher here with an Age of Magic video, and in today's video we're going into the next qualifying match of the AI Championships. In this match we have player number 17 Scout Aetegan going up against player number 11 Poolboy Markendal, who's going to be annoyed there's an A in his name instead of the E that's meant to be there, but my championship's my rule, so we're going to move forward. As you can see, the heroes have been selected for them on the board, and with a coin flip it was Aetegan that gets to go first. So we'll go through the banning process, the champion selection and the sub selection for these players, and see how the battle plays out. Starting with the bans, Aetegan got to go first, and he started off with Balthazar, followed by Markendal, who banned Lucky. Two solid bans, strong champions you do not want on the field, followed by Ilias from Aetegan, a strong hero again with a leadership ability. You want to remove leadership abilities from the field if you can, and Markendal followed with Swamp Killer, a powerful hero. Even without the Danae leadership, she can still do a lot of damage. Markendal followed up with his Phoenix, and Aetegan followed with Mizuhiku. Mizuhiku, we've seen in the past, can do a lot of damage to the enemy, so a smart ban there. And Phoenix can be quite an annoying healer. So two powerful healers removed from the board, some leadership abilities from Ilios, and then you've got pretty strong damage dealer support units that have been eliminated as well. So interesting bans. Moving on to the selection process, Aetegan got to go first, picking Rock, a strong choice, good CC. He can do a lot for your team, a great damage support unit. And Markendal went next, picking Oraheim, good, the only other leadership ability on the board, so he's secured that. Followed by his Pigboy, which was an interesting choice, to be honest. I don't understand the reasoning behind that. I think there are better heroes on the board, but that's the choice he went with. Markendal followed up by picking Sabretooth and Idril. Interesting choices again. I wouldn't have picked Sabretooth myself. I just feel like there are better damage dealers out there. But in terms of ability construct, Sabretooth, all his abilities do damage. There's no setting up. There's nothing. He just attacks. So that might not be a horrible thing. And then Idril next. Again, not understanding that Idril is one of those units that is a very niche character. She has a sleep, which can be broken by attacks. And when you've got an AoE character on the field like Rock, you could be breaking those sleeps and not getting the full effect. But that was the choice he made. And then Poolboy Markendal went with Tanita and Jag, which I think that is a strong choice. Having two pure damage dealers on the field with no other healers, good healers, and tanks on the field, damage is going to be vital in this battle. So Markendal's changing his battle into his team into more of a nuke team. Just going to damage. And Aetegan, he's a bit spread out at the moment. Has a lot of AoE, has single target, has a support unit. The last picks from Aetegan was the Arata and Arakan Axroa. Glass Cannon, good choice. Arata, pretty strong damage dealer with a self-heal, so that could be useful for Aetegan. Followed by Markendal, who went with Valandar, which was an interesting choice. I think having an AoE support unit on the team, but again, adding a bit more damage to his team. Valandar's buff, I don't believe affects only dwarfs. I think it's team-wide, so they could benefit from that, but still an interesting choice. I think a damage dealer, who else is left on the field at this point? Maybe Prook? I don't know. Might have been a good choice. But then we went into subs. Subs for Aetegan was the Healer, taking the only healer off the board, but could be beneficial to him if one of his characters is underperforming. He can sub in a healer and get a little bit more battle life in him from that character. Followed up by Markendal, who went with Sweet Voice, which I think was a useless pick for a sub, seeing as Sweet Voice needs other goblins to be as effective as she possibly can. So there's not a lot on the board at this point. I still think Prook would have been a better choice, enforcing the extra damage, or maybe even Lael. I mean, she doesn't have any other Dark Elves, but she could still potentially do a lot of damage. I think another single target damager on Markendal's team would have been really beneficial. Those were the selections for both players. We'll move into the battle and see how everything turns out. Going into the first battle, Rock comes off with a freeze, landing on everyone's super strong start. Idril applies 2 debuffs by the looks of it, not doing a lot, and then out comes the damage, Oraheim being the primary target. Markendal has a little bit of an advantage here as he has a leadership ability, and Aetegan's team, I don't know what they're trying to aim as that. Rock comes very close to dying. He's taken out first, turning it into a 4v5 situation. A lot of damage coming out on Idril. Now she will be the next target since she is a caster, and misses coming out from Aetegan's team. The damage from Aetegan Axel was a little bit underwhelming. I thought he would do a little bit more than that. Unfortunately not. They need to take out someone. They need to aim Oraheim. If they can't focus one target, which they are doing now, but it's a little bit too late. There comes the AoE from the Pig Boy. Aetegan being next on the list to take out. Oraheim finally dies, but it is not going to change anything in this battle, as a lot of damage does come from Sabretooth, but again, too little, too late. The what's his name? Tanita just annihilating Sabretooth with his multiple strikes. Valendar, I think, taking the final hit, and the first point going to Markendal. The players now are going to have a chance to look at this video and determine whether or not they want to sub anyone in or out, and we'll move on from there. But first point, Markendal, Aetegan on nil. Going into the second round, Markendal has remained with the same team. Aetegan has taken out Axel and put Hylia in. I wouldn't have done that personally. I think I would have replaced Idril with Hylia, but we'll see how the battle turns out and who is right. Rock taking a lot of damage as Oraheim is being pounded on. If they can take out Oraheim before she can get her... Oh, I think she's already done the AoE. I've already lost it. Not paying attention, but there we go. It's a 4v4 at the moment. Hylia might make all the difference. We'll have a look. The damage is now coming out on Tanita. If they can kill Tanita before his cooldowns come off and he gets that massive AoE out, it might make a difference. Healing came out there from Hylia, giving Aetegan a bit more sustain, and now it's a 3v4 situation. We've never seen in the competition so far a change where one character has swayed the difference in the second battle. So far, whoever won the first battle won the second battle, but this might be the difference as Hylia takes a few hits. She gets a bit of damage out, puts a bleed on the Pig Boy, and she strikes him again. If they can take out Pig Boy, oh, he's so close to dying. It's a wasted attack. He only had 1 HP left, but we'll see what happens. Hylia now dead. It is a 2v3 situation in Aetegan's favor, as Aetegan seems to be the target, I think. No, there we go. Idril, the caster, now she's being focused. She has very little HP left. If they can take her out, that would be good. She does die. It's a 2v2. Aetegan goes for the heal for some reason, even though his HP was pretty full at that point. I don't know, maybe that's a bit of a spit in the face to the enemy, as Aetegan takes the second point. 1.8 piece. Very interesting stuff. We haven't seen this in the championship yet, where one person's won the first and the other person's won the second. Normally, whoever wins first wins second battle. So this is an interesting development, and we have to go over to the contestants now and see if either of them want to sub in a hero for one of their main cast members now. Moving into the final battle, Markendal has chosen to take out Jag and put in Sweet Voice. Is going to make much of a difference. We'll find out, as again they are going to be aiming Oraheim by the looks of it. Yep, big damage coming out on Oraheim. The freeze doing a good job in setting up Aetegan's team. There we go. There's some confusion out, which is good. Rock dies. Sweet Voice might make the difference, actually. She's doing pretty well, even considering that there are no other goblins on the field. It is a 5v4 situation. Oraheim in critical HP. She may die. Nope, there are 2 misses, and Markendal in a really good position at the moment. Lots of damage coming out. Hylia may die. Oraheim finally falls. It is a 4v4, but Hylia very low in HP. If she can somehow get a heal off, they might be able to save. Nope, but she is out. It is a 3v4 situation, putting Aetegan at a critical position now. Idril goes into critical HP, being hit by Tanita. She may die on the next hit. Let's see. Nope, she's still alive. Then Valendar comes through and finishes off. Pig Boy coming on, hitting Aetegan. Then Tanita switching some damage over to Sabretooth. Aetegan comes through with a heal, but it's not going to really make much of a difference at the moment. Tanita in critical HP, but he will be able to survive this battle, I believe, as the damage keeps coming out on Sabretooth. Critical HP now. Tanita with the double strike. Here we go. Pig Boy finishing off Sabretooth, giving the final point to Markendal with the Sweet Voice change actually securing him the win. So it was a good change. It's the first time we've seen subs truly make a difference in the battle, so they've done quite well. Markendal will be moving on in the competition. Aetegan will be eliminated. We'll move over and look at the leaderboard now and see where everyone is sitting. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The 7th player moving through to the quarterfinals is Pool Boy Markendal, Team 11, I believe it is. It's quite small on my screen, but I believe it is Team 11. So we have 7 opponents so far, nearly halfway through the qualifiers. People are doing a tremendous job. We've seen some interesting fights. I'm sure there will only be more interesting ones to come. but it's going quite well so far. I hope your team is winning. If not, unfortunately, there will always be a next time. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I will answer it to the best of my ability. And wherever you are in the world, until next time, please take care of yourself.